It's one of the most difficult jobs after any major fire, going through rubble like this and looking for human remains. But it's also one of the most important jobs, especially after a big fire like the Camp Fire, where potentially hundreds of people are still looking for family members. Sifting through the rubble, desperately hoping to find nothing at all. It's not an easy job. Right?
No, it's not, but we did our best.
Every major find these search and rescue teams come up with amid the ash from the Camp Fire means one more name added to the fire's death toll. Bruce Wilkerson's been a part of search and rescue teams for 35 years. He says the emotion of this task eventually catches up to you.
Later on, weeks later, when we debrief and talk about it, yeah, it bothers you.
But Wilkerson says it's a service for the many families waiting for news, albeit sometimes bad news, about missing loved ones.
It is another in a series of wildfires and evacuations for some residents of Kelseyville, now fire weary after a long summer of this. Tonight, the Mendocino Complex, the ranch and river fires, is tearing across the western Lake County from nearby Mendocino. Here, the fire is massive, stoked by strong afternoon winds. It chews through full-grown trees like kindling.
What's your plan?
Stick it out as long as I can. Do what I can to save my house.
For those who've decided not to evacuate, the hours are filled with watching, hoping that CAL FIRE helicopters can dissuade the wildfire from spreading as quickly as it has been.
That wind sent flames southward Tuesday afternoon, farther and farther into the Solano County side of the Atlas fire.
What made you guys decide to leave now?
Because live ashes are dropping, you can see right there.
Randy Baines waited until he needed to wear a mask, waited to get his family and his dogs out of here until the last minute.
Are they kind of nervous right now?
Yeah, they are.
Ground crews struggling to catch up with flames raging about half a mile away. Already strained fire crews raced limited equipment to homes, working with only about 20 trucks, working against daylight to keep these homes intact.
It's time to go.
As an Amador County community was forced to flee from the Irish fire, this is what firefighters were facing. Fast-moving flames inching dangerously close to homes.
This fire came up onto Willow Creek Road with great intensity. Fire was definitely wicking across that.
Watch as this crew worked to stop the fire's spread to this house to prevent a family from losing everything.
And the fire grew at a critical rate.
Like many neighbors, Autumn Miller stood at this lookout point watching flames spread in the afternoon.
The flames were just like bursting up, and it was hard to tell whether, it was going to be all right, because we didn't know if the wind was going to change direction.
She was keeping an eye on her grandparents' house in Willow Creek Ranch Estates, the community under mandatory evacuation.
When I called him a little while ago, he said that they were fighting fire, but now it seems to be okay.
Every few minutes, choppers hover over Cache Creek. With only feet of clearance, these pilots show off their skill, dipping their hose into the creek and sucking up what they can, a non-stop cycle lasting until the sunset.
It's very stressful.
Nearby, Blaine and Frank Johnson are becoming a little fed up.
Constant helicopters, too, keep you on edge.
If this couple looks familiar, it's because Fox 40's Dennis Shanahan stopped by here earlier in the week. At the time, they thought the flames would soon pass. That has not been the case.
It's kind of moment by moment. You've got to watch what the wind's doing, because it seems like every afternoon it'll shift and come from the south, and then later in the afternoon it comes from the north.
Now, days later,
I've packed up 3 times. I've packed up the house about 3 times.
They just want to stop constantly looking over their shoulders at the fire that seemingly just won't die.
One minute you think it's gone, and then the next minute it's flaring up again.
With the fire methodically marching north towards Highway 20, Highway 16 in the community of Rumsey remains shut down.